The spirit of the Indian Constitution is the basic law of the land, India, adopted in 1949. So today we will learn what's the basic spirit of the preamble. Preamble is the introductory statement of our Indian Constitution. So we will explain the meaning and importance of the preamble of the Constitution. Preamble, meaning and importance. So what is preamble? This stating the reason and intent of what follows. And according to the preamble, the Indian Constitution spell out the thrust, central thrust, and the basic philosophy around which the constitutions revolve and which give central thrust to the Indian Constitution to work upon. So it expresses both the political and philosophical message contained in the Constitution. So it is both the political message and philosophical message. So our preamble not only is basic political framework, so it must contain the first thing is political framework around which our whole system will work and will be constituted the social and political framework of this nation and corresponding values. Why values is necessary? Which values are out to govern our socio-political setup, but also the fact that the constitution containing all these assertions is not an imposition from above. So whatever in this constitution is not an imposition from above. We will understand this. We will break up the preamble into three main components and we will understand how the spirit of the preamble, which is a very important part of Indian Constitution, works and how it's a political and philosophical message for our political framework. So the first part of our preamble, we consider it obligatory part, the objective part of the preamble. So look at the words. The word is having solemnly resolved to constitute India sovereign, socialist, democratic republic. Sovereign means here a state having independent power or authority. So this word has a meaning that a state has independent power and authority in internal and external matters. And democratic republic means a country where power is democratic republic means a country where power is exercised by representatives chosen directly or indirectly by them. Representatives chosen directly, up lower house, indirectly, upper house, and directly we see as the election of PM, indirectly election of president. Power is exercised by representatives chosen directly or indirectly by them, and also where the head of the government is an elected or nominated president. President is our head of the state, elected or nominated, but not a monarch, as we see in UK, where the system of crown is and is hereditary. But this does not mean that the words used in the preamble are objective only in the sense of their dictionary meaning. Rather, a certain meaning could also be put in any of these terms by the chosen representatives of the people. So it's not literally a dictionary definition, a philosophical definition. A certain meaning could also be put in any of these terms. This can be illustrated by a reference to the word socialist. Here is a word socialist, and dictionary meaning of this word is different, and how we have adopted and how we treat this word in our nation is different. And this word was introduced in the preamble along with secular by the 42nd Amendment in 1976. In 1976. And when the controversy arises for this word, socialist, then Prime Minister Gandhi said that this word could not be taken in the dictionary or literal sense. We have our own brand of socialism. We will nationalize the sectors where we feel the necessity. If we feel the necessity, we will nationalize. But just nationalization is not our type of socialism as considered in a socialist republic. Similarly, sovereignty of India does not come in the way of its remaining a member of the Commonwealth of Nations. India is the member of Commonwealth of Nations. But our membership to this organization doesn't come in the way of we are sovereign. It's a voluntary association and it does not violate India's sovereign status. It's a voluntary association. We have joined it as our voluntary needs and requirements, but we have not surrendered our sovereignty by joining this. The connotation of the above cited portion of the preamble is not merely objective but also obligatory, since having resolved to constitute the political framework in a certain manner, it is neither for the people nor for any of its representative organ to violate any of its constituents. Instead, both in the functioning of the state as well as in dealing with the individual or groups, the constitutive basis as spelled out under this section must be upheld. So it's obligatory and it cannot be violated. We have resolved to constitute India. So it's the obligatory part. And we'll see the next part, which will be called declaratory part. And this part is we, the people of India, in our Constituent Assembly this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. The intent and purpose of this portion is obviously declaratory and assertive in that the information regarding the Constitution having been adopted by the people of India is meant as much for the people of the country as for the whole world outside. We, the people of India, do hereby adopt. We have adopted not only for the people of this country, declaratory and assertive, but we are declaring that this is as for outside world also. The later context is more important since it is an assertion as well as an effort on the part of the people to be viewed as one among the community of nations. And this also means that the people of India, acting through their representatives in the Constituent Assembly, choose to merge all their ethnic and other diversities into one nation. Why? Because we, the people of India, in our Constituent Assembly, where representatives are present and acting through their representative, the people of India, and if the representatives are there, they have chose to merge all their ethnic and other diversities into one nation. This is self-evident since people who regard themselves as diverse and separate from each other cannot make one declaratory statement. And here, one declaratory statement has been made. So it is self-evident. What is self-evident? The diverse and separated from each other cannot make one declaratory statement. It means they are separate but united. There is diversity but unity, which is obvious in this declaratory part. Finally, the supremacy rests in the people who do not merely give to themselves this constitution, but have also adopted and enacted it. These two words are very important: adopt and enact. There is no imposition whatsoever, whether from within the country or from outside. It is the people's will. It is the people's will which is translated into the constitution by the people themselves. And next we'll see the descriptive part of preamble. And this part starts from to secure to all its citizen what? Justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and the integrity of the nation. From this to that, that's the descriptive part. It signifies more, much more than merely descriptive contents of the preamble. It brings the hardcore and substantive feature of the Constitution into bold relief. That is why it is not only makes a mention of various liberties available to the individual under the Constitution, various liberties, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, worship, but also emphasizes the inalienable goal of national unity and integrity. We talk about national unity and integrity. It is therefore implicitly incorporated the concept of fundamental rights as the fundamental duties, both of which appear subsequently in the Constitution. So these are very important components, and we can see how it is devised by the people themselves for their own governance. And now the question arises, is preamble a part of the Constitution? This has been a controversial point. Even the Supreme Court of India had changed its position. Thus, in 1960, it held that the preamble was not a part of the Constitution, but 13 years later, it accepted the preamble as part of the Constitution because it contains the basic feature of the Constitution. An overview of the preamble to the Indian Constitution, as well as the proceedings discussion on its various features bring home to us the preeminence of certain values which seem to lie at its very basic. Preamble also underscores a balance between the rights and dignity of the individual. So we can see the spirit of Indian Constitution lie in the preamble of Indian Constitution.